Hello and welcome to Miniature Adventures. This week I want to talk about distractions. Blogger, vlogger or wargamer. So this week I want to touch on a subject that I have sort of skirted around before, and I wanted to delve into the topic of distractions from the tabletop, particularly focusing on whether maintaining a blog or a YouTube channel like I do makes one less of a wargamer and more of an enthusiast. Now, for many hobbyists, balancing between playing games and creating content can be a delicate act. Personally, I can spend anywhere up to 50% of my average week writing content for my channel or blog, or curating photographs from games I played, editing videos, that sort of thing. There are weeks when gaming or painting doesn't happen at all because the channel or the blog's schedule takes precedence. Now, I'm not complaining, I like that, but that's not for everybody. And of course this leads me to the question that am I a wargamer who blogs or a blogger who wargames? Now, I first started blogging back in 2009, and I wasn't among the first generation of wargamers to document their hobby online, but I was part of a growing trend at that time. And over the years, many wargamers have bypassed traditional blogs, opting instead for forums and social media as those things have come along a bit. And despite this shift, I can confidently say that for a significant portion of the last 15 years, dedicating my hobby to digital pixel has been an essential part of my enjoyment. Now, I often mention that without my blog I wouldn't have a channel, and without both I wouldn't be a member of Postage Rejects, or I've made friends that I have over the past decade and a half. The blog and the channel have deeply influenced my hobby, shaping it into what it is today. And sharing my passion for wargaming, model building, painting, historical sites, what I call my miniature adventures, is what truly makes my hobby enjoyable, my version of the hobby. This is what I enjoy doing. Now, it's true, however, that the time spent writing or making videos is time away from the hobby table or painting desk. And I've never been the type of person who can dedicate all of their time to one task. I enjoy flitting between reading and painting and playing games, talking to friends, taking pictures and posting online. There may come a day, hopefully far in the future, when I decide to stop blogging and posting videos. Such a decision would have to be for a significant reason though, because I do enjoy it immensely, even if sometimes creating stuff can be enormously frustrating and hard work. Now, when I reflect on my journey in the wargaming community, I see how intertwined my hobby and content creation have become for me. Initially, my blog was a simple platform to share my experiences and thoughts on various games. Over time it evolved into a repository of my gaming life, capturing moments and milestones like many other bloggers. The blog's transformation into a YouTube channel, a way of focusing my YouTube channel, allowed me to reach a broader audience, engaging with fellow enthusiasts in new and exciting ways. And these days, most of the content on my blog is actually these videos being reposted there. Now, as anyone who's got a YouTube channel will tell you, creating content requires a different set of skills compared to playing or painting miniatures. It involves writing and editing and technical know-how, which can be both challenging and rewarding. These activities, while not directly part of the core hobby, enhance my overall experience of it. They push me to improve my skills, stay organised and think critically about my projects. Moreover, content creation fosters a sense of community with other wargamers. The feedback and interaction from readers and viewers I consider to be invaluable, and is an enormous part of my enjoyment on a weekly basis. They provide motivation, inspiration and a sense of belonging that I probably wouldn't get any other way. Now, I've learned a great deal from the community, gaming insights and tips that have improved my own gaming and painting techniques. Yet the balance between content creation and the hobby itself is delicate. There are times when I feel the pressure to produce content, which can overshadow the simple joy of playing a game or painting a miniature. This pressure can lead to burnout if not managed properly. To mitigate this, I do try to maintain a flexible schedule, allowing myself to take breaks when needed. I try to plan ahead so that I'm not up against a deadline. And I remind myself that the primary purpose of my blog and the channel is to share my passion, not meet a quota. Now, the evolution of technology has also played a significant role in my hobby. When I started blogging, the tools were relatively simple. Today there are countless apps and platforms that can enhance content creation, from video editing software to social media analytics and even AI. These tools have made it easier to produce high quality content. However, they also require a learning curve and an investment of time. Embracing these technologies has been a journey in itself, adding another layer of depth to my hobby. Now looking back, I see how much my blog and the channel have grown over the last 15 years. They started as personal projects but have become integral parts of my life. They've documented my journey, capturing my growth and connected me with a global community of like-minded individuals. I've had the privilege of meeting many fellow enthusiasts both online and in person, forming friendships that I cherish. The only downside is I wish I'd done this a decade earlier, but the technology didn't really exist for that back then. Now, the dual role of Wargamer and content creator has enriched my personal experience in ways that I hadn't anticipated when I started this journey. It's made me more reflective about my hobby, more deliberate in my projects, and more appreciative of the wider community. It's also highlighted the importance of sharing our passions. Through blogging and vlogging, we contribute to the collective knowledge and enthusiasm of other wargamers in the community. We inspire each other, celebrate each other's successes and support each other through the challenges. Now, as I continue on this journey, I remain committed to balancing content creation with my love of the hobby. I recognise that each aspect feeds into each other, creating a dynamic and fulfilling experience, well, certainly for me. Whether I'm rolling dice, painting a new miniature or editing a video, I'm part of a vibrant and diverse community that shares a common passion. And this realisation reinforces my belief that I'm both a wargamer and a content creator, each role enhancing the other. So in conclusion, the question of whether I am a wargamer who blogs or a blogger who wargames, it's not easily answered. The lines are blurred, and perhaps that's the beauty of it. The intersection of these roles has created a richer, more engaging hobby experience for me, and I'm sure there'll be other people who have channels like this who would say similar things. It's allowed me to grow, connect and contribute in meaningful ways that enhance my enjoyment of wargaming. And as I look to the future, I'm excited to see where this journey takes me and how the balance will continue to evolve. One thing though is certain, the passion for wargaming, whether on the table or through the screen, will always be at the heart of what I do. So we have time for a hobby update, and on Sunday I joined fellow Regics Steve and Sergit down the Shed of War for a game set in Sudan in 1885. A British column is heading towards the river port of Abu Hamed on the Nile, but a Mahdist army is lying in wait. Myself and Steve were the Mahdis for this game, and we started by laying down blinds along each side of a 14-foot table for this particular game. Two of the blinds were blanks. The remaining 8 were brigades brimming with fanatics, cavalry, camels. Now we decided to attack the town with a force that we judged to be sufficient for its capture. We guessed correctly, as it happened, that there would be support from the river, but we overestimated the scale of that support, so we probably overdid it slightly in the forces we assigned to the town. Meanwhile, at the other end of the table, we positioned our remaining forces to close a trap around this British column. Massed infantry and cavalry would attack from one side of the valley, drawing the British attention, while behind them, other massed camels and skirmishers would threaten their position from the rear. Now, despite our earlier confidence, as soon as the British opened fire, especially at close range, we knew we were going to have a hard time. By midday, I think Steve and I were convinced we'd lost and probably couldn't win. And that was when my dice rolling went into overdrive, and from that point on, I was getting above average results for the rest of the game. Now, Steve and I coordinated our attacks on the town, managed to pour into the outskirts and then just wrap around the defenders, and in just a handful of turns the town had fallen and all of the defenders were slaughtered. Meanwhile, at the other end, the British column had done huge damage to the Mahdist troops that we'd applied to them, but with the British flanks left exposed, because he didn't form a square basically, he didn't form a defensible arrangement with all of his units available, and eventually it only took only a handful of British units made it off because we were able to get round the flanks and do a lot of damage, resulting in the end in an unexpected Mahdist victory. Now Monday was another game, this time a short tester game on Zoom playing Richard's new aerial combat rules. Actually, when I say they're new, he said they've been in development for probably 30 years. So maybe describing them as new is a bit of a misconception. We only had a couple of hours to play, so this was a very quick dogfight to introduce us to the rules. Unfortunately, my internet router decided to play up shortly after starting the game, so I missed a great big chunk of the action. By the time I was able to reconnect, my wingman was spiralling out of control, with smoke pouring from his engines, and I had a Spitfire on my tail that I just couldn't shake. 2 well-controlled bursts of fire from the Spit, and I was going down in flames, and just managed to bail out before my Messerschmitt took a swim in the English Channel. The dogfight was quick, but I think we all enjoyed the rules and want to play again. Maybe getting the aircraft into the shed of war at some point in the future for a bigger face-to-face game at some point. Well, that's it for this week. A shorter video than usual because I'm actually heading away for a long weekend with the family, and so there's not a lot happened this week because we spent most of our time packing and preparing to go away. Part of that weekend I'll be at the Tank Museum. Indeed, today as this video goes out, I will be enjoying Tankfest, so no doubt there will be a report back on it next week and plenty of photos of what I am anticipating to be an excellent day out. And as always, if you enjoyed today's video, please like, subscribe and share, and of course please join the conversation in the comments below. So until next week, stay safe, keep gaming, and of course keep rolling high.